Shalom. We're back again with another video. Um, and before we begin this lesson, we want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakab, Wadash. We want to give double honors to the elders and apostles, chiefly of Great Millstone, where we've learned this truth. We believe sincerely that the camp of Great Millstone has 100% truth. Okay, I want to say peace and salutations to you, Akim, you brothers out there who are laboring, doing this work in all truth and in sincerity. And I also want to say shalom to you Israelites that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth that may look like these other nations, but go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So today's video, we're just going to go in and speak on some current events. You know, a lot of events are taking place currently in the world today. So many, it's hard to keep up with a lot of the news stories and everything that's being covered, because every day when you wake up, it's something new that's popped up. So we're really going to see where the Spirit leads us in this lesson. But to begin with, we're just going to speak on the coming destruction, because that seems to be the main focus of the news today. The news topics is Russia, you know, threatening to use these nuclear weapons. All these other countries threatening to use their nuclear weapons. You got all these countries ramping up their testing and all this other stuff. So that's where we're gonna sort of kick this lesson off from and just see where the Spirit leads us. Yahweh Ratazah.
And you know, the old idea of patriarchy, or being a patriot to a country, and a country standing as a sovereign power within the earth, that's smoke and mirrors. Okay, that's a thing of the past. That's absolutely gone out of the earth now. What you got today is corporations that run this earth. Okay, and when you touch on the topic of Ukraine, you know, there's a lot of corporations that are pushing weapons and money into that, and they're using the guise of a governmental system to do it. You understand? So it's all cash generation, it's money generation within these massive corporations that are controlled by the elites. You understand? Because what have you got there? You've got uniforms, you've got weapons, you've got money. That is another way of washing. You know, Ukraine, you could say, is a big time car wash, mafia car wash. You understand? Where money is getting washed through there. So the idea of a patriarchal sort of nostalgia that once existed within the earth, it's total corporation control now. Okay, so that's what you've got, where Esau has used the smoke and mirrors and the sorcery of his media to tell you that you have to step up your game now in aid of Ukraine, because you know, the big bad East is coming and infiltrating now into the West. All of that is the wiles of Satan. Okay, not to be trusted, but is using that to manipulate the minds of the people within the earth. Okay, he's using that to establish a mind control within the populations of the earth, that, you know, this is the way it should be. The media is showing that Ukraine now, poor Ukraine, you know, is being infiltrated by Russia, but really it's an orchestrated plan to bring about this NW, you know.
Yeah.
And so you know, don't be you know, be hip to this, you know, and don't be like the sheeple out there who actually think that what the media spews out is actually what's going on. You know, the global elites which control these world dominating corporations are the ones behind this whole strategy, behind the wars, behind the shifting of patterns within the earth. Okay.
Yeah, just to touch on that as well. Like, not every aspect of warfare is just sword going up against sword, like gun against gun. You know what I mean? It's mental warfare. It's spiritual warfare. It's all kinds of warfare.
Yeah.
And when you look at the blessing of Esau, matter of fact, I'm going to get that. This is in the book of Genesis, chapter 27, and I'm going to read. I'm going to read verse 39 down to 40, and it says, "And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth." So Esau, Edom, or Esau, when he was receiving that blessing from his father Isaac, he was going to be blessed with the fatness of the earth, living on all the best places in all the sweet areas of the planet. You know what I mean? And you can find these people anywhere you go, right? And it says, "Thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above." And it says, verse 40. This is the point. It says, "And by thy sword shalt thou live." And that's talking about the weapon. Esau's blessing was the sword, the weapon, right? And he can weaponize anything against you. You take his media, for example, like the propaganda that you were just speaking about.
Yeah.
He's weaponized that against the people. So he's making you believe that he's on your side, like he's fighting for a righteous cause. When this guy is fighting to have total control. And it says here, if you keep reading, it says, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And that's what he wants. Esau wants total control of everything and everybody, right? And currently at the moment, Russia is standing in the way of that. So he's trying to further this war, this conflict, so he can establish his NWO agenda, right?
Yeah, yeah. Because really and truly, Russia has been stirred up by the Most High, because he said, "I will stir up the Medes," So
Yeah, yes.
yeah, he'll stir up the Medes. So really and truly, this war is gonna happen, whether they like it or not. Okay. So the heavenly hosts of the Most High, those ICBMs are part of that heavenly host. It's part of that army of the Most High. You know, it's spiritual weapons developed for its purpose. You know what I mean? So this is what is going to take place in the end times, which we are living in. And if you just to touch on them Georgia Guidestones, you know, the global elites are okay with the culling of most of humanity. Okay, they okay with it. They actually want that. You know what I mean? Because if you look at it, the development of AI, the development of driverless vehicles, all of that stuff, they have found ways in actually not needing people anymore for the continuation of this earth. You know what I mean? And whoever is left in that time, this is according to their plan, because they think that their houses will continue forever, but it won't, because the Most High has got his finger on the pulse. You know what I mean? Because the Most High rules within the kingdoms of men. People think and they're trying their best to shut him out and shut him out. You know, when he sends Yahushai to do that hostile takeover of this place, it'll come as a massive shock, you know? And that's what you always got to be mindful of. You know, these people are okay with killing the majority of the population. And on the right hand side, our heavenly Father's okay with that too. You understand? With the destruction of the wicked. All right? Yeah, sorry.
Oh, no, you're good, you're good.
Bring what you
Yeah, so this is the precept you call for. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 17. It says, "Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it." So it doesn't matter what
Yeah.
you offer these people. Like the Medes are being stirred up.
Yeah.
You know, so these people are getting ready to strike.
Yeah, because apart from this capitalist sort of idealism, there is still people within the world who have a nationalist idealism within themselves. And if you look at the First World War, Second World War, and now the cusp of the Third World War, nationalism increased tenfold before each of these wars. You know what I mean? So with the spiritual eye, you can look at that and you can see, like, you know, Russia don't really care about your trade. They'll switch off that so-called gas pump, that gas pipeline, if need be. You know what I mean? They're not gonna pander to your they're not gonna pander to your will, like Saudi Arabia. You know what I mean? They don't care. They don't care who you are or what you're doing, but because they're gonna establish their national interests before they bow to your economic agenda.
That's
You know
right,
what I'm
man.
saying?
And if you think about it like this as well, like you've got the America and NATO tried to put sanctions on Russia to cripple their economy. And what did Russia do? They turned around and started selling their oil to India at a discounted rate.
Russia has offered discounted oil to India, and reports say India has taken that offer. The Indian Oil Corporation has purchased 3 million barrels of Russian oil. Technically, there's nothing illegal about it. Russian oil is not a sanctioned commodity. Plus, India needs the cheaper energy. The only worry was the American response. How would Washington respond? Would Washington object to New Delhi's purchase? Here's how the White House responded.
Our message to any country continues to be that obviously abide by the sanctions, but that we have put in place and recommended. I don't believe this would be violating that, but also think about where you want to stand when the history books are written in this moment in time.
That's classic American response. History will judge you, they say. Has history judged America yet for Iraq or for Libya? The fact is, every country is pursuing its national interest. India needs cheaper oil. Russia offered cheaper oil. So naturally, the deal happened.
And America and made them more richer. And America, obviously, feeling some type of way about that, tried to destroy the Nord. Well, they did. They blew up the Nord Stream 1 and the Nord Stream 2 pipeline.
This is Dabu 7. Information now connected to these blasts near the Nord Stream pipelines. It seems to be 2 at this point, and there's definitely a rupture that has taken place on both pipelines. The pressure has dropped on both lines. We have the Danish military putting beacons out in this area. You can see here on this map where we have circled. This is a look at the waterway. If you were to go out there on the water and take a look at what the water looks like, it's bubbling up, as you can see here in this image. Now, they say that these blasts registered as earthquakes, and they picked it up on many of their monitors. They say that one of them was a 2.3 in magnitude. And this is a look at that pipeline and where it runs down through here around Estonia, and then the key area right here where the leaks are. You can see right there. Right outside of Poland. This is a critical situation with everything going on with the war, with everything going on with Russia, and with getting gas into Europe. This is going to cause way more problems, but this is the situation as of right now. A pretty big situation. Massive leaks on these pipelines, and they're saying that they're blasts, so somebody hit them.
If Russia invades, that means tanks or troops crossing the border of Ukraine again. Then there will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it.
How will you do that exactly, since the project and control of the project is within Germany's control?
We will, I promise you, we'll be able to do it.
Sabotage. So they not only have they tried to cripple Russia, but they've crippled Europe for the winter, because now Europe can't get the gas that they need to keep their houses warm. So these things are things that are boiling up to a point where, you know, the missiles are going to fly.
That's right, because who uses a lot of energy? China uses a lot of energy. so there's always a way to sell. You know what I mean? India, Pakistan, places that like, you know, places that are within the Asian region, you know, who are very close to Russia. They use a lot of energy and a lot of you know, so Russia's always got that way of selling its stuff. You know what I mean? And then it can increase the prices that come here into Western Europe. You know,
That's it.
so
Yeah, because when you, it's lucky to jump in, but like when you think about it, China is a sovereign nation. India is a sovereign nation. They don't have to listen to America. America's like, yeah, you know, don't buy their oil. It's like, nah, we need it. We're gonna buy. You can't tell us what to do.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know, like I think there was a news report I see where it was saying that America was upset or upset with India for the fact that they were buying oil at a discounted rate. Like what? Like, what do you say in America? Like, why would anybody not want to buy oil at a discounted rate when their economy thrives on oil?
yeah, because nobody really cares what you say anymore.
Yeah.
You know, nobody really cares what, and that goes into part of beat your plowshares into spears.
Spirit, I got that precept right here.
Yeah,
That's the spirit. Look at
yeah. That
Yeah.
goes. I would actually, you know, bring it up.
I literally had it here, man. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
But yeah, so this is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 9. It says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up."
Let
It
them
says,
come up, yeah.
"Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong."
Yeah. Let the weak say I am strong, because India was never a contender, especially against the greatest economy in the world, which is Babylon the Great. You know what I mean? No, Pakistan or even China for that matter. There was you know, the countries had a vote. I don't know what you call the actual setting that they voted in, but the vote was to whether they should not recognize Russia's influence in the Crimea regions that they control. You know?
Members of the UN General Assembly have voted overwhelmingly to condemn Russia's annexation of 4 Ukrainian regions. It's the strongest show of support yet for Ukraine from the UN body, calling on Russia to reverse its actions. 143 countries voted for the measure, with only 5 against amid 35 abstentions.
A UN member state, one with a permanent seat on the Security Council, has attempted to annex territory from its neighbor by force. This UN member state has not only put its neighbor in its crosshairs, but also put a bullseye in this institution's core principle. One country cannot take the territory of another by force.
Despite a major US diplomatic effort to bolster support for the motion, 35 countries, including India and China, abstained. Russia's ambassador to the UN said the West is completely deaf to the problems of the global South and calls to finally address them. All efforts are thrown at promoting the Ukrainian narrative, but not for the sake of the country's well-being, only in an attempt to harm Russia. Last month, Russia formally announced the annexation of 4 partially occupied provinces of eastern and southern Ukraine. Voters in Donetsk, Luhansk, Kherson and Zaporizhia had, according to Moscow, overwhelmingly backed joining Russia, but Kyiv and its Western allies rejected the referendums as meaningless and illegal.
And obviously all of Western Europe voted against it, and they said they're not going to recognize their control of those regions. But you know who didn't vote against it? China. Okay, so now that should okay. South Africa as well, I think, didn't vote against it, and
India,
I think India, yeah.
The BRICS nations, basically.
Hey, so listen, man. You got these powerful nations who are once not so powerful, who weren't powerful at all, and that's an actual stand. You know, not voting. That's a stand against America, and that's part of that. Beat your pruning hooks into spears. You know what I mean? Because now they've got a defense budget, huge defense budget, and they're ready to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you think about North Korea as well. North Korea's been testing their missile systems out. They fired an ICBM over Japan, causing the alarm systems to start ringing.
The world watches Ukraine. Kim Jong-un is reminding us all that he's still a major threat too. North Korea launched a powerful ballistic missile over Japan, one that's capable of carrying a nuclear warhead. The missile traveled nearly 3,000 miles before splashing down in the Pacific. That's the longest distance ever for a North Korean weapon, according to Japanese and South Korean officials. It's far enough to strike the U.S. territory of Guam, where the U.S. military has 2 bases. The missile launch came without warning. Sirens blared across northern Japan as many people were waking up and commuting to work on Tuesday morning. The government halted train services and urged people to seek shelter. In response to the launch, South Korean and U.S. fighter jets did this, carried out precision bombing drills off the coast of the Korean peninsula. South Korea's military says the show of force was a demonstration of its ability to quickly strike, the origin of provocations, as the South put it. For months now, the Biden administration has been warning that North Korea is preparing to carry out a nuclear test for the first time in 5 years as well.
People are going about their day-to-day life, and all of a sudden, the missile alarm alert system's going off.
Wow.
I bet, you know,
Wow.
and that goes into the scripture where it says it shall come upon you as a thief in the night, because nobody was aware. They were going about their day-to-day lives like everything was normal, and then all of a sudden, bang, just like that.
Yeah. And what, Babylon the Great stands a virgin.
Yeah.
You know, the scripture says she stands like a virgin. She's never seen that upon her soil, you know. So when that starts actually happening on the soils of you know, of America, that's gonna, people are gonna bug out because they've never seen warfare like that, you know. I mean, even here in the UK, I mean, when was the last time there was bombing raids in the Second World War? Most of those people have almost all died off now, you know. These new generation of people, they've never seen stuff like that.
Yeah, and you think about the mindset that they have nowadays. Everybody's confused about pronouns and genders and all this other stuff. You really think they're prepared for a state of war?
Well, this is one of the problems with this left-wing gender ideology, is that no one who espouses it can even tell you what these words mean. Like, what is a woman?
Well,
can you tell me what a woman is?
No, I can't. Because it's not for me to say. Womanhood looks different for everybody.
What do you define a woman as?
An adult human female.
And what does a female mean?
Well,
how
that's
do you define a female?
someone with female reproductive organs.
Okay.
Someone who's, you know, here's the thing, when you're female, it goes right down to your bones, your DNA. So that's why if someone dies, we could dig up their bones 100 years from now. We have no idea what they believed in their head, but we can tell what sex they were because it's ingrained in every fiber of their being.
How many genders are there?
You can't put a number on the number of genders because everyone uses different words to classify themselves.
I would disagree. That's where it changed my mind. I'm not convinced that anyone can just use any classification for themselves for their gender, and certainly not that then we have to compel society to address them this way. Right? I'm sure you can understand that the compelling of language is an issue.
So what gender do you think you are?
Well, I'm a male.
Okay, well I think you're a woman.
No, legally I'm a male.
Oh,
it says on my driver's license that I'm a male.
Okay, so that's your sex.
No, it's yeah, I'm also a male.
Sex. It's your sex.
It says on my carrier certificate that I'm a male. Gender. Some legal documentation say gender.
What if I say I don't believe you?
It doesn't matter.
Exactly, it doesn't matter if you don't believe me.
No, it doesn't matter because biologically.
What gender do you think I am?
I would assume you're female.
Yeah, see, you're making assumptions.
Yes.
I identify as non-binary.
And people are not as hardy as they were in the 30s and 40s, okay? You're, like you said, people are confused of which pronoun they belong to. And that's another way of the Most High weakening these armies as well, or weakening these nations. You know what I mean? You think China, the soldiers that are flowing into the Chinese army, you think that they are, I think it's over 1 million strong of men ready for war.
我命令全军各级要强化练兵备战鲜明导向，坚定不移把军事训练摆在战略位置，作为中心工作，抓住不放，抓出成效。要坚持领导带头，以上率下，坚持实战实训，连战连训，坚持按纲施训。
You think they are gender curious? You know what I mean? Or confused over which pronoun? You think those guys are Russia, where it's illegal in a lot of cases to actually be a sodomite? You think they are worried about which? Nah, man, those guys are singing battle chants. You know what I mean? Iran. You think Iran is worried about what the West is? The you know, as they say, first world problems. Nah, they're ready to go. And that's the spirit that the Most High has put upon the world. You know, he's put that warlike spirit upon these nations, which he's gonna use as living chess pieces on this board that we call Earth, in order to bring down his enemies. You know, and what's our job in all of that? Our job is just to prophesy the coming of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
To report exactly what we're seeing and filter it through the scriptures.
Correct.
Like all this stuff that's happening, all these news reports that you're seeing about the war getting ready to kick off and this country's going up against that one, you're seeing the lines being drawn, right? So Russia, China, India, they're on this side. NATO and America, they're on that side, and they're all getting ready to meet in the Valley of Decision, the Valley of Yehoshaphat, to war with each other, you know. But in the midst of all that's going on, there's other things that are in the background that are starting to creep in, like the famine. We were talking about that just before we started this lesson.
Yeah.
Like the famine is still a thing. It hasn't gone anywhere, but you're not hearing a lot about, you know, global food shortages or anything like that, because it's the focus is on the conflict between Russia and Ukraine.
Yeah, and in global warfare, supply routes get cut off. You know what I mean? In the Second World War, they had people like in all sorts. They utilized all types of fields and all types of everything to grow crops, and they had the general population doing that. But what Esau's done is he's taken the ability of self-sufficiency out of the people's hands, and he's given them the supermarkets with everything wrapped in plastic. You know what I'm saying? He's given them the convenience of it all. So now none of these people know how to actually raise animals, grow crops. They don't know how to hunt. They don't know how to fish. They don't. So what will be their case in that day? It's gonna be a very bad case. Now they are in pitiful case. You know.
The spirit again.
Again? Oh!
Let's just pull that precept.
And that's the spirit right there, man. Now they're in pitiful case of.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 9. It says, "Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments." And these torments are, you know, empty shelves, no food, no water, you know.
Yeah.
Cold houses, all of this.
Cold
torments,
houses, yeah. Cold houses, man. Shit. Getting kicked out of your house.
Yeah.
In winter. You know what I'm saying?
Serious, man. You know, and a lot of people don't know how to bake fires. Is there a lot of people out there that are prepared, like that could survive without this system? You know how to distill water. You know how to even acquire water naturally. You know, I mean, these are things that are beneficial, but a lot of people have been put to sleep because they're more interested in what the Kardashians do.
That's right. That's right, and that's by design. You know, most of these people ain't gonna hear. You know, they're not gonna really they're not gonna really come to the realization of what's going on. You know, I've been in that situation before where you're telling all people that don't have the Spirit upon them. You know, who the Most High hasn't given the eyesight to see these things. It's like, it's amazing the things you can see that they actually scoff at. And I mean, they scoff, man. There's the people you try, your members of your family, this and that, they are scoffers against this word, you know. Right. It's only the men who have been given this that can declare it. That's it, you know. And that's you know, with your fleshly heart, you might think, oh, that's such a sad thing, but with your spiritual heart, you know that the Most High has created a separation between the righteous and the unrighteous, you know.
Yeah. So brothers out there that try, you know, that have received this word and try to speak to people that they're close with, you know, who they care about, you know, and then those people ain't receiving it. I mean, it's a hard thing, you know, because you know what's coming, and you know if they don't get it, they're going to be destroyed. But the way you got to see it is that, you know, maybe the Lord had it that way, that they be destroyed, or maybe they wake up later. You know, who knows what the Lord's got in store. But at the end of the day, if people exit your life because you're focused on this truth, man, you look at it like the Lord is separating you. He's separating the impurities with the pure, you know. You know, and all we can do is hope that we're part of the pure, that we're of the elect. But still, you know, it's something we hope for, as the scripture says, right? But
we're prisoners of hope.
Yeah, we're prisoners of hope. But you know, it's just, you just gotta get in your mind, in the mind state that some people you really care about ain't gonna make it, you know, and it's a difficult thing.
Yeah, because, you know, whatever their personal belief system, it's not gonna change what the Most High has set up to happen. There will be a war that ends all wars.
Yeah.
You know, that's coming no matter what anybody says. This is the book of 2 Peter chapter 3, and I'm gonna start at 6. It says, whereby the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished. But the heavens and the earth, which are now, by the same word are kept in store, reserved unto fire. And what's that fire coming with? Them ICBMs. And them ICBMs are ready to go, man. Putin's is hinting at wanting to use them. You know, the world is on, I heard that America has started ordering millions of, what you call these tablets?
The radiation.
The radiation tablets. Yeah, radiation tablets. People are on high alert everywhere now, man. You know, the uttering of nuclear threat now is much more commonplace on the news and, you know, in people's mouths. And that's the spirit of the Most High bringing it forth, you know. They speaking about it. Why are they speaking about it? They don't even know. But they know the threat is real. And the men of the Lord absolutely know that that's coming, you know. Yeah, and it says, by the same word are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment, and perdition of ungodly men. You know, so like I said before, the Most High is with it, man. He's with the killing of majority of these people out there. You know, that's just the facts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You take it back to the time of Noah. The Lord flooded the entire earth to take everybody out except Noah and his family. They're the only ones that survived through the flood. Now, the Lord ain't gonna drown everybody again, but He's gonna flood the world with fire.
Yeah, and I mean, if you think about cleansing agents, water is one of the greatest cleansing agents, and the other one is fire. You know, purification agents. You know what I mean? Because it's gonna purify this world. That's basically what he's going to do. He's going to purify this world of ungodly men, you know? And he's going to establish a righteous rulership within the earth that is going to last forever and ever, you know?
Now, we're not saying that the whole entire earth is just going to be engulfed in flames. We're mainly speaking that America, aka Babylon, is going to be the new lake of fire. You know, that's going to be where, you know, the nukes are mainly going to hit, is that place, because it's exceedingly wicked. Right? Don't get me wrong. Other places of the earth will probably receive like bombs from America, but mainly everybody's going to turn on America and drop bombs on America.
That's right. That's right. If I jump to 10, it says, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat." So this is to show you how those spiritual weapons, that spiritual heat, you know, the heat created by the hand of the Most High, because he created the smith, which bloweth basically he created the scientists and put the thought in their head to make these thermal destructive forces within the earth. All right. And the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. That's that purification. That's that cleansing. Yeah? Seeing that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? And this is part of the holy conversation now, you know? Looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of Yahweh. Yeah, you got to hasten that day. You know, you're not supposed to get into a comfort zone within this demonic society. You know, you've got to hasten the day. You know, you've got to keep praying unto the Most High and give him no rest till he makes Jerusalem, till he established Jerusalem within this earth as the top governmental structure, so to speak. You know, looking for and hastening into the coming of the day of Yahweh, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. You know? Yeah, and just to continue a little bit, it says, "Nevertheless we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness." Wherein dwelleth righteousness. Because the whole reason this place is going to be destroyed is because it's wicked, you know? And the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked, which are the Edomites, you know? And they have completely destroyed the whole construct of righteousness, you know? They have even changed the genders of male and female, and they have gone into abominable creations, and it's too much to even mention. I mean, you know how these guys get down, you know? You know how they get down, because they are exceedingly wicked against the power of all powers as well, you know?
That's right.
There's a judgment for them. And here we are declaring it.
Yeah, and that's why you're seeing it now. Like, you're seeing all of this stuff happening in the earth, and it's written in the scriptures. Matter of fact, let me grab that real quick.
Yeah. It's not, you know, it's come to a point where people have aligned themselves with the wickedness, and a lot of that is for the bag. But you know, you don't even get that bag. You don't even get that life you are thinking you are gonna get, because it's short-lived. You know, they get you on technicalities to take that back off you. You know,
yeah, as I say, look what they done to Kanye.
Exactly. I mean, look at that whole record industry. You know, people have lost fortunes in that record industry and gone back to 9 to 5s. I mean, we only see the famous guys, but you see a lot of guys passing through that industry just getting taken for a ride, you know what I mean? Or maybe go to their mansion parties and get turned out, you know?
Yeah.
And you always got to consider that. You always got to consider how Jake is turning, you know, to every sort of structure that is not of the Most High. But when they get there, they are getting totally bamboozled. You know, they are literally getting their soul pulled out of them. You know,
right. And if they go along with the agenda, the higher they climb. But when they start speaking out against the agenda, you notice that their careers are pretty much over. Like Kanye West, like, you know, to speak on Kanye for a second, like, he was going along with the program. He made the song Jesus Walks and all this other stuff. He had the elites, or he was doing the plan of the elites, and now he's talking about where the real. Now they're trying to crucify him in the media. Said he's just going DEFCON 3 on them. I don't see what the problem is with that. You know, I'm actually with him on that. You know what I mean? But that's what, you know, that's what they're getting him for, and it's just like, well, you know, I mean, the JOO, should I say, not the other word, because I know YouTuber.
The Juice Crew.
That's it, the Juice Crew, because if you say the other word, then they'll flag you, then strike your channel.
The least of the flock of the house of Esau, you know, that's gonna draw them out in the end, you know, because they're gonna push for this, because the house of most of the elites are from the Juice Crew, you know what I mean? So they're gonna want that global destruction, so they can create a further, in their mind, they feel that their house will last forever, you know. So they want to create a further utopia. If you looked at the Georgia Guidestones, with a very reduced population upon the earth, so they think that this coming destruction is gonna play in their favor. No. Your time is up.
That's it. And I got this precept here. This is in the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and 14. It says, "And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all of the world for a witness unto all nations. And then shall the end come." So you see the elders and apostles decades ago starting to bring this truth out. And they've continued to do the work, which has woken up brothers, you know, all praises to the Lord, you know, because the Lord's woke these brothers up. But they heard it. The Lord guided their steps. They heard the truth. They woke up to it, and then they started preaching the same, right? And the same goes down the line, even down to us, right? And it's not only in that part of the world, it's all over the world now. You know, the elders and apostles and the doctrine of Great Millstone has reached throughout all four corners of the earth, right? And what we're starting to see the beginning signs of the things that were prophesied that would happen at the end. You know, the falling of this devil, Esau Edom, the falling of his high horse. He's being cast down as lightning, you know, and he's falling fast, right? We're starting to see that, and then the ultimate end result is that they get completely wiped out, which you can see these talks of nuclear war. Like the video they showed in New York, they were broadcasting that what to do in the event of a nuclear weapon. People are confused, like, why are you showing us this in New York? Because like you mentioned before, they know the threat is real.
Yeah, and places like New York, them big cities, are the first that's gonna be hit. Boston, Texas, New York, LA, you know, them type of places are gonna be hit because they strategic target points. You know. They strategic targets.
New York for sure, because they're like the money capital of the world.
That's right.
You know, you've got Wall Street in New York.
London.
Yeah, London Stock Exchange.
Brussels. You know, Berlin.
I think they were even showing in like it may have been Seattle or one of those states in America where they're offering people free bug out bags.
And Denver is now handing out free bug out bags to help you just in case you run into emergency. Lisa D'Souza live at that free event at the Montbello Rec Center. Lisa, all right, I asked you last time. I need to know the checklist of everything I got to put in my bug out bag.
We've got it all ready to go. Good morning, Ashley. So this event officially opens up here at the Montbello Rec Center at 10 o'clock this morning from 10 a.m. to 2. You can stop by and get a free bug out bag. Just like I said, this is all for National Preparedness Month. And this is all being put on by Denver Emergency Management. All right, so let's take a look at some of the items that you can get for free by coming by. You got batteries. Looks like we've got some matches, a can opener, toilet paper, paper towels, toilet paper, paper towels. We've got cotton balls, and then really everything you would need from a first aid kit as well. We've got hydrogen peroxide, Band-Aids, other first aid essentials, flashlights, really all sorts of things that you could potentially need in an emergency. So this is all part of a national campaign.
Free bug out bags. It's like,
Hey,
why,
look,
why would
man,
you need a bug out bag?
if that's
Yeah.
not the spirit of destruction that's come upon the earth, you know what I mean? Tell me what is. Tell me what is. 20 years ago, were they offering bug out bags? So they're doing nuclear strike warnings on the TV? No, we are in that time. We are in that time. Okay.
The threat is real.
Yeah.
And again, it's of the Lord. The Lord prophesied, and well, the Lord told us of these things before they happened, and the men of the Lord are prophesying, explaining, like they're giving the warning. The Lord has never been unfair to say, oh yeah, I'm just going to destroy a place. He always sent his men to give the warning, to cause the people to repent, to try and save them. You know, the Lord is fair. But the ones that refuse to listen, smack your hand away whenever you're trying to help them out. Hey, the Lord's got no need for or use for those people.
Yeah, but they're hungry. But they smack the bread of life away out of your hand, away from them. You know what I mean? Because what is this? This is the living water. You know, you drink, but your thirst is not quenched. Why? Because you're drinking up the waters of Babylon. You're drinking up the philosophies of Babylon. But when we give you the living water and say, you know, drink thereof, you don't want to drink it. It's poison. The most purest of it, the most purest, is poison to you. It's like these people in the world, they love to, they'll drink soda.
Yeah.
You know?
They say you're offering them water, they'd rather drink Coke.
Yeah, they rather drink Coke, drink, you know, all types of aspartame laced drinks. You know what I mean? But when you offer them like pure water, they're like, nah, you know, I have a Coke. You know, I have a Fanta. You know what I mean? That's exactly how it is in the spiritual side.
You're in the desert, thirsting. You're in the desert thirsting. You have the option of water or Coke, and you choose Coke.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
wonder why you're not being quenched or satisfied.
Yeah,
you know?
the 7-Up looks like water, but it ain't the real water. You know what I mean?
Yeah. it's like the what other books out there that tell you of the things that are coming and that are actually happening. Every single word that it says is going to happen and it's happening. Whatever book out there does that, whatever religion or philosophy, whatever is out there, can compete with these scriptures. Not a single one.
Nothing. No matter how much you try to establish them as something great, there's nothing. Okay, and I've looked into them. You know, even just for in a scholarly way. You know what I mean? There is nothing out there that competes with these holy scriptures. And the beauty about the scriptures is that it's closed off. It's closed off to many people. Salakia. You know, that's the beauty of the scriptures, is that it's closed off to the majority of the peons. You know what I'm saying? And it's only open to a few. So it's a cryptic book, and that is the, you know, that is a very exciting aspect to the whole to this whole scriptural thing. You know, is that you understand it and you understand prophecy, because the spirit of the Most High is prophecy. You understand? And when you get to that realization, you get to understand that, hey, you know, if they don't understand, they just don't understand. You know what I mean? But you understand. Hey, Daniel chapter 12 and verse 8. And it says, and I heard, but I understood not. Yeah, and really and truly the revealing of this book is only been opened to the minds of the prophets in these last days. You know what I'm saying? And it says, but I heard, but I understood not. And it's going to tell you that right now. Then said I, O my Lord, what shall be the end of these things? And he said, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed till the time of the end. It's sealed till the time of the end. And it says, many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. And the wise and prudent are them who have the Spirit of the Most High upon them. You understand? And so that scripture tells you that nobody shall understand, but the wise shall understand. And what does it say? And it says the book is sealed till the time of the end. So these things that we are declaring to you in the time of the end, that's another indicator that we are in the last days. You understand? Because now the book that was sealed is now opened and it's understood by the few.
That precept here fits in perfectly with that. So this is the book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 19. It says, he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. So only the Israelites are going to understand these scriptures. And in the time of the end, the scriptures are going to be opened to the understanding. So we're going to be able to declare what the scriptures are talking about and present them to you based on the evidence of what we're seeing in everyday news and day-to-day life.
Yeah, and Tawada for that, because that's actually a very important point. Yeah, that's a very important point, because these words, it says, you know, the opening of the book and the revealing in the mind that it's talking about here is only for the house of Jacob. Okay,
right. And just to hit the nail on the head and sit for any of you scoffers out there, this is Psalms 147 verse 20, and it says, he have not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh.
Praise ye Yahweh.
So he hasn't shown his word unto the other nations. The other nations ain't gonna get it.
And it's evident. It's evident. If you look at Hinduism, they're not declaring anything like this. If you look at Islam, they're not declaring nothing like this. If you look at Buddhism, they're not declaring anything like this. If you look at Edomite Christianity, they are not declaring nothing like this. They are going according to the precepts of men, as opposed to the biblical scriptures, because they didn't know them. We are the only ones upon the earth who know these scriptures, man. Yeah. Believe it or not. We don't. Hey, look, we don't care. Believe it or not.
There's some Christians that'll tell you to stay away from certain books. Like they tell you not to even look at the Apocrypha.
That's right.
There's certain Christians that say, "Oh, stay out of Revelations. Don't even look at the book of Obadiah." I mean, you know what I mean? Like
Old Testament's done away with.
Yeah.
You know, things like that.
Yeah, Old Testament's done away with. You know what I mean? We're in the new covenant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
matter of fact, most of them say that. You know, and that's how you know they are not of the Most High. And what does it say? The wicked shall do wickedly. You know what I mean? In the book of Daniel. So you understand that is part of the wicked spewings that will come out from these groups. And if you look at Matthew 5 and 17, I'm going to go there just to touch on that Old Testament part that because most of the Christian church say that. You know what I mean? And you know, other things as well, like celebrating Christmas and Easter and things like that within the church, and Halloween and whatever, you know what I mean, making rainbow churches these days and all of that, right? But none of them support the Passover, the Feast of Tabernacles, the blowing of trumpets, the new moons. None of them support that. You know what I'm saying? So what you with, really? You know, you're in a Babylonian construct. You're in a Babylonian mind state, and you don't want to get out. This is the book of Matthew 5 and 17, and it says, Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. It says till heaven and earth pass. And how will heaven and earth pass? How we read before, you know? It will be dissolved with fervent heat.
Great noise.
With great noise, yeah. And until that time, not one jot or one tittle shall pass from the law, you know? And it continues to say, whoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and here's the point I'm making, and shall teach men so, he shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. And it's still talking to Israel, by the way. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Okay? So all your church systems saying the law is done away with, don't look at the Old Testament, this and that, and we're only going through. They even started to make Bibles New Testament only, you know, where the scriptures say the things that were written aforetime were written for our learning, you know. So what are you learning actually? You're learning nothing, because it is not given to you, you know.
That's what I mean, and that's a good point, because it's like when you read the New Testament, like a lot of the teachings, they're just reiterating what was in the Old Testament. So if you're reading the New Testament only and they're talking about something related to the Old Testament, how are you supposed to know if you don't have the Old Testament to look it up?
Yeah. Because what do you call? Okay, you got what you call the Old Testament and the law, and then what you have after that, the prophets. You know what I mean? So what was the prophets doing?
Yeah.
Prophesying for future events, for our time. And you're going to just glance all over that. You're not going to even glance at it. You're going to jump over that and go into, what was Yahweh Shai teaching from? The one who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ. What was he teaching from? Because it's all the word of the Heavenly Father, all right? And it's wicked that you have done that. So that's why I say, either my Christianity, they never had it, all right? And now here we are coming to declare the proper gospel, and you hating it, and you're scoffing against it, and you're bugging out against it. You know what I'm saying? So, what you want really? That heat. You know?
That's what I mean. I mean, we're out here giving you the living waters. You know, if you want to play around with your salvation by just agreeing with the plantation Christianity, you know, and just agreeing with everything they say without actually questioning it. You know, if you want to disregard books like the Old Testament or the Apocrypha that explain everything that's happening, you know, it's a history book about our culture, the Israelite culture, right?
Yeah.
And if you want to disregard that, hey, you play around with your salvation, because you'll never get the full understanding if you don't have all the information.
Yeah, everybody's bugging out. Everybody's like up in arms about how Kirk Franklin said that the lion and the goat, the lion and the lamb will bow down to the goat.
The lion and the lamb will bow down to the goat. The lion and the lamb will bow down to the goat.
I see
You
that.
see that?
That is off as hell, man.
You know, everybody's bugging out about that, but what did you expect from that type of an institution? You know what I mean? Where people sell their soul for money and tell you to worship vanity and money, and tell you that, you know, godliness is gain. You know what I mean? What did you expect from an institute like that? You know? Stomp. You know, what's the dude saying? The dude is saying that Yahweh Shai will bow down before Satan. That's what he's saying. You know what I mean? And why? Because Satan, which is the physical counterpart, is Esau, Edom, upon this earth, gives them their place. You know what I mean? That's why they have to reject Yahushai and look unto Satan. What did they say? What did they say when Yahushai was on the cross? They said, "Don't you want to save the King of the Jews?" What did all the people say? We have no king but Caesar, right? So really and truly, they wanted Yahushai to bow before Caesar, and that's the same thing now with these bug outs, man. And you know what else? You know what else? The Christian community were by and large defending Kreflotala because they're all in the same boat. Okay? Yeah, but if we weren't here to declare it, what would happen? What would happen?
Wickedness would exceedingly pollute the earth.
Yeah, and it's not our declaration, but it's from Yahushai. You understand? It's from Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. All right? That's the words we are declaring, you know, and we are vessels of that. So think before you go into these things, because there's a great destruction coming upon the earth. A great destruction coming upon the earth, and you want to be on the right side of salvation when that comes. You know, we're prisoners of hope, as we said before, but we're faith-based. And faith without works is dead. That's the long and short of it, you know. There's a great destruction, great famines and plagues are coming upon. And your adversary, the devil, is a very wily character. He'll catch you on different avenues and segments, you know. So you got to always be circumspect. Keep your head on a swivel. Know what's happening, when it's happening.
Yeah.
You know.
This guy is a master deceiver.
Yep.
Don't ever get it twisted that you can predict what this devil's gonna do, man. Like he's a master. Look at what he did with our women, you know, the Israelite woman. He's in the Western world. He's got them all convinced that they don't need the man. Like, you know what I mean? And he did that strategically, because you take the man out of the household, it destroys, it weakens the household to be conquered.
And we know that persecution is going to come to us in time to come, you know. But we pray to the Most High that we can have the strength to endure that persecution, because you know the great endurance hasn't come upon us yet, you know. And if you can't endure the small things, walking away from the things of the world as it is now, how will you endure the persecution that is to come, you know? And that is what you got to galvanize yourself for, you know. This is the wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and 12. Because as I said, the devil is waiting for you, man. He hates righteousness. Okay, so it says, therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. Yeah, we are not for the way he does things. We are not for his rulership of this earth. We're not for that, you know. He is not for our turn. And he is clean, contrary to our doings. Yeah, we regard his doings, we regard the things that he has established in the earth as filthiness, okay? He upbraided us with our offending the law. Didn't we not read Matthew 5 and 17 just now? And you know, that's why you know that the church system by and large is a satanic system. You know what I mean? Because they tell you that the law of the Most High is irrelevant now. You understand? So, you know, and that's by design. That's to make you go off, you know? Yeah. He upbraided us with our offending the law and objected to our infamy and transgressions of our education. And that's your biblical education and your secular education, your public fool systems, you know? They are abominable, all right? He professed to have the knowledge of Yahweh and calleth himself the child of the Lord. Yeah. You know, and there's much more on that. The Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter, you should read it, you know. But I'm going to skip to this, which is verse 9, you know. So the Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 9, and it says, they that put their trust in him, and it's talking about the Heavenly Father, okay? They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth. Yeah? And what does it say in Daniel, the 12th chapter? None of the wicked shall understand. You know what I mean? They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love. And what is love? Love, for this is the love of Yahweh, that we keep his commandments. Okay? And that's why it says faithful in love. Faithful in the law of the Most High. You understand? The same thing that the Christian church told you is done away with. Okay? Faithful in love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints. And who are the saints of the Lord? The house of Jacob, you know? And he had care for his elect. And he had care for his elect. And what does it say about the elect? If it were possible, he will deceive the very elect. You know what I mean? But it's impossible for the elect to be deceived because they have been given that eyesight to look and see things as they are and filter it through the scriptures of the Heavenly Father. You know? That's the long and short of it.
So, yeah, we pray that this lesson has been edifying. Yahweh Rataziah has been edifying. And yeah, again, anytime, you know, you see these videos, you know, you can leave comments, you can, you know, we'll answer your questions, but our main thing is that you seek the Lord while he may be found, because this is getting to a boiling point now where it's going to be, you know, you got the famine of the word that's coming. So we're going to be taken off the internet and out of the highways and hedges, and you're not going to have the understanding of what the Lord requires of you in order for you to be in that bracket of being delivered, right?
God. So
seek the Lord while he may be found, and repent, you know, pray, fast, do all of that stuff, you know, because times are short, you know, time is crunch time right now, you know, you need to get it while it's good. But on that note, we're going to close up here, and we're going to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak, Wadash, Wa Baba Ball, just death to America.
Death to America.